the concept of the feature I'm about to show is around extracting data out of documents. So documents store data in an unstructured way, meaning that they contain a lot of data in the documents, but there's no structure to it. You can't look, there's not a database behind it that is giving you the information. So oftentimes what happens is our clients are either public defenders or civil legal aid organizations will have a document that they need to get data out of. And the way that they've been doing that is by going into the document, reading it, and then typing into a system like Legal Server the fields, the information in the document, and putting it into forms and fields inside of Legal Server. So this is a big paradigm shift in the sense that where we're going to start an intake now is actually with a document. And the technology is going to analyze each page of the document, and it is instructed to look for certain types of fields. So here we have a criminal indictment. This indictment or this charging document is for Bart J. Simpson, who was born on January 1st, 2012. It's in a court in Idaho, and there's a bunch of information. What I want to highlight is, in addition to all this information, note that some of the information is handwritten. That seems to be a big thing because the tools have gotten really good at understanding handwriting. So what I'm going to do is come over here and use this feature to grab a document. So I'm going to grab the document we just looked at, and I'm going to upload it. Now it takes about 20 to 30 seconds for it to process. So we're going to let it churn through the document. It's looking for that information in the document. And what it's going to show us is when it gets to this part of the screen, it's going to show us the values and the fields that it was looking for in an intake. So the shift here is that we're starting an intake with data already populated. So here we see the information it found. It found the name of the court. It found the name of the client, their date of birth, the cause number in this. And if we come all the way down here, we'll see that it also found what this defendant has been charged with. So this defendant's been charged with possession of a controlled substance. So if we begin intake process, this will save all that information into the case, and we have that information. So a lot of use cases where we're trying to get information out of a document. This is one example. If we can't get the information from the court, rather than just having someone type in all the information from the charging document, we're actually going to start with the charging document and extract the information. Just in case you're curious, this is what the database sees. So this is in the format of how the data is sent back to us with all of that data there. So the second example of this I just want to share is in a clinic. Now, I'm purposely using this document for a number of reasons. One is that it's handwritten. Most of the information in this document comes from somebody writing in the information by hand. And you can see it's also stained and discolored and whatnot. Very common when you scan documents, so you might see it like this. So this is an image of a document that was scanned in from a clinic, from the Veterans Clinic. It was an intake scanned in, obviously all made up information. But I want to start over and use that as an example. And so we'll see that one work as well. So here we're going to just switch the type of intake to a civil case instead of, because that one's not criminal. And we're going to grab the information here, which is right here, and we're going to let it do its magic. So now it's going through the document and is pulling out the information in the document around the handwritten intake on a clinic. So we're going to let it do its magic here. All right. So here we are. We can see that it found the name, Andrew Skunk, with a phone number and an email and an address. It got all of this information so far, and it even pulled in some financial data from the form here. And so we can see all of that in this document. And again, if we want to see it, where did it get the information? We could see it here. This is the document that got uploaded, and you can see all the different places that it found the information. And again, just to show you, sometimes it's easier to show you in this view, it pulled out a bunch of data that it's looking for in terms of what's in that form. So in this use case, again, of this tool is having a tool that is trained to look for specific information, extract that information, and then put it into a case as part of the intake of a case in the legal server. All right, so that's document extraction. The other use cases of this are things like looking through documents on a case to see if any outcomes can be found in the documents, like a letter from the Social Security Administration may either grant or deny benefits, and we would want to know, if granted, what was granted and how much and the frequency. If it was denied, we'd want to know that it's denied and then tell us why it was denied. So the idea there is, can we just comb through documents that are on the case, try to identify ones where there might be outcomes in the case? So there are tons of examples that once we start playing around with this, that would be really powerful to use.